Welcome to Arguing Ever After. My name is Luke, and this is my lovely wife, Amber.
Hello.
We are the Lord and Lady who lock horns,
The Count and Countess of Contention,
the Duke and Duchess of Disagreement,
and the King and Queen of Quarrels.
We have been together since Jinko jeans were first in fashion. We have argued about practically everything, and yet we're still together and happy. We have a great teenager who currently doesn't think we're lame, and most of our family still likes us.
In this entertainment-only podcast, we'll bicker about all things, big and small, and the audience gets the final say on who the winner is.
We do not claim to be relationship experts by any means. We will debate lots of things, many of which are frequently submitted by our listeners. So if you have a topic you want us to battle over before you try it at home, please share it with us at arguingeverafter@gmail.com.
Perhaps this completely unscientific method of letting the masses decide who is right can settle your fight too before you even have it.
So today, we were discussing things considered in the category of woo-woo, according to Amber.
That's my category for it, yes. Woo-woo.
Which includes many things, which we will probably have podcasts about in the future.
Absolutely.
But today the question was about extraterrestrial life.
Aliens. Yay.
Aliens. So, we both have probably lots of opinions on it. And I'm sure you all do too. So we thought we would just have a little discussion about what the truth is about them.
Yes, the truth.
The truth. I, for myself, have been, as I'm sure many people have been, interested in extraterrestrial life for a very long time because it's been part of pop culture since, well, at least since I was born, and probably since most of the people watching this podcast have been born. Going back as far as at least the first big deal one for our country was Roswell, which was in the 50s.
Yes.
And it has been covered with all kinds of, those videos people put up, and it's like, what is that? Why does it look so unnatural?
Do you remember the storming of Area 52? Is that what it's called?
Oh my God, 51.
51.
Stop it.
Do you remember though? I think it was during 2021 where Area 51, everybody was like, let's storm it. Yeah, it was a planned storming.
I do remember that. They were gonna go take over or something.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to that.
I remember I don't know if I saw it or heard it, but I remember something about 20 people of the theoretically planned thousands,
hundreds of thousands,
showed up to one of the gates, and there were guards there, and they were like, this is an active military base, do not cross that line. And then they were left.
I know, but they were like, you can't stop us all. It's sad when you plan a party and nobody shows up.
Yes.
Aww.
The poor sad folks,
the poor alien lovers.
You do gotta wonder though, what would they have found?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear what they would have found.
Oh, is it?
Weather balloons.
Weather balloons, of course. Other things that have put aliens and extraterrestrial life into the mainstream have been movies and comics and TV shows, and it's probably one of the most popular things, I would guess, that people watch and look at. There's a whole category of it. Sci-fi is largely based around things like that. Shows like Star Trek and obviously movies, like all the Marvel movies.
Independence Day.
Most of the DC and Marvel comics. Independence Day is a great example.
I saw that movie a few times. That was a big deal back in the...
Is that the only sci-fi you liked ever?
I like Men in Black.
Okay, see, there's another one.
I mean, Will Smith is pretty.
So far, with Will Smith, we've got two of those.
Yep.
Also, he was in Hancock, where he was...
I didn't see it.
I don't know if he was an extraterrestrial. He was a god of some sort.
Okay, I'll trust you.
Spoiler alert, the movie came out 20 years ago. Or
I feel like if the movie is been like streamed online for free for more than 5 years, if you haven't watched it, you probably don't care to.
Probably not going to.
Me, I have not watched that movie, and I don't care to. But I will say, I have listened to lots of conspiracy theory podcasts, and I've watched my fair amount of TV documentary. Oh God, we'll get into that in a second. Documentaries about things like Area 51, and there have been a few others that they've talked about pretty hard that has to deal with aliens. Because I want to get on board with the conspiracy theory. I love conspiracy theories. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see the proof that people feel that they see. For a long time at night, we would watch the History Channel. Mm-hmm. And there was always this one guy on there, and every time I'd wake up in the middle of the night, he would be talking about something. He'd be like, it wouldn't matter what it was. He'd be like, oh, what was Jesus? Jesus was an alien. Oh, what was the Egyptian pyramids about? Oh, it's aliens.
For sure, all the time.
You know, I mean, just everything.
That was the guy with the hair.
With the wild hair.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure he was.
Didn't he like do that?
I have no idea, but I mean, I'm like, oh, no matter what it is, they're like, oh, what about the starvation, the Dust Bowl, aliens, everything. It didn't matter. And as soon as you saw him, you're like, I thought I was watching an actual documentary. Nope, I'm watching an alien show.
Maybe it was more like a docudrama.
I have no idea, but I knew the moment I saw him.
Because there was historical things that actually occurred.
Yes.
Documentary style.
Yes.
But maybe there's a little dramatization.
He was the dramatization.
There's been a couple of those. And for what it's worth, they're always popular. So I think everyone might have a little bit of that question mark.
I don't necessarily understand how everything can come back to aliens. So when you say that, we're beyond just since the 1950s when we've had little green men and all of those things.
Yes.
What else have you thought had some value?
What do you mean value?
In thinking about, is it possible?
I mean, it's all sort of the great question, you know, like, are we alone? And I think it's a question that everybody sort of asks. So
I would have never asked that question if it wasn't on TV.
But my point is that it's always been there, like longer than we've been alive. So I think it's actually fair to say that most people, at least for the last, I guess I don't know a time frame, maybe 100 years, maybe it's more than that. I mean, you know, thousands maybe. People have probably looked up at the stars and wondered, well, what if?
I'm sure some people, but I don't look at the stars and wonder what if.
Well, you might be in the minority.
I understand I have an unpopular opinion. This I truly get. I just don't see the correlation. And when people, like we were talking about the history stuff, right? Like everything on the History Channel, and how they would go back and look at things and say, you know, well, aliens must have been involved. Pyramids, right? Mm-hmm. Humans couldn't possibly have figured out how to align whatever it was to the stars. Like, we just couldn't do it. I feel like that's just so egotistical of us today. Like, for us to think that we have the apex of knowledge, and that all of these people tens of thousands of years ago couldn't possibly know.
First of all, it's not tens of thousands of years ago if we're talking about the pyramids.
Okay, I'm not just talking about, I'm saying, okay, sure.
Okay.
But, like, whenever you go back in time, like, it's not possible that people could have done Stonehenge, or it's not possible that people could have done crop circles and all of these things. Like, whatever the time period is. What I'm saying is it's pretty bonkers of us to think that we couldn't have, you know? I mean, there's
well, I mean, that's largely because the level of technology required, and the reason the things you've brought up have been questioned is because for their time frame, they were so far away and ahead of the technologies available at the time that moving, just using one of the pyramids as an example, moving one of the blocks, I don't even know the numbers because I'm not an expert. We're just called an Egyptologist.
Yes.
But like, I think they weighed some ridiculous, like 10,000 tons or something like that. And like, at the time, the only technology that they had was like basic stuff like wheels and levers, and like they didn't have pneumatic equipment, they didn't have hydraulic pressure, they didn't have, like, it was just manpower.
What about the Baghdad battery? They did have technology.
Sure, to light a lamp and create electricity or whatever.
Yeah, but that knowledge was lost.
Sure it was, but it's been rediscovered. And
okay. Again. Okay.
I mean, to your point, okay, so if we're talking about technology then, so if you're suggesting there was a technology.
I'm suggesting the knowledge and capability and manpower was there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Well, clearly something happened. Because the pyramids are real.
Yeah. I mean, but for us to think that that humans couldn't have come up with anything like that just because our vision based on, again, media is that they were so primitive. I think that's...
Well, it's not based on the media.
Well, sure, but when you think of ancient Egypt, what do you think of? I mean, it's pretty primitive, but they were super smart. I mean, think about the libraries of Alexandria, right?
Sure.
We don't know what was lost in all of that. They could have had all the schematics and all of the ways that, hey, this is how we did it. I mean, it was all the knowledge.
Maybe
or a
it
lot
came
of
from
knowledge.
aliens.
I mean,
is it just that you need to like have
concrete
some proof of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, concrete
How
evidence.
does Bluetooth work?
I don't know, but I know that it does.
How does Wi-Fi work?
I don't know, but I know that it does.
I'm just saying, like, these things are, I don't know, there's that saying that any sufficiently advanced technology would, like, make you think it was from an alien, or that it was magic.
I've never heard this saying. This is
know
not a
saying.
common saying.
There's
No one said this before.
Somebody's watching who's probably, like, more in the know than I am, but there's something like that.
Mm-hmm. So if I just start saying something's a saying, then it's a fact.
No, it really is. It's any sufficiently advanced technology is considered. Is it maybe it's magic? It's something like that. Because like,
I don't know.
Well, if you just think about like, okay, let's say you time traveled because we're on the woo woo stuff.
That's another. Oh, don't.
But let's say you time traveled not too far back in the future, where people would be like,
Back to the Future.
Another sci-fi. But let's say you traveled back in time and not too far back, and
Like yesterday?
you brought just a camera, let's say. Like, it doesn't have to be like a smartphone or whatever.
Okay.
You just brought a camera, like a Polaroid that could develop its own film, to like, I don't know, 1500, where you're far back,
Right.
but you're not like in the Stone Ages, you know, you're like, at least people were living in houses at this point, you know, some places had running water, you know, so you bring back a camera that may be perceived as magic or unexplainable because the technology would be that far advanced.
Sure. I understand, and I can see this in one of my
really
very favorite movies.
Talking about the sayings. This isn't the topic at hand, but that's fine.
Yeah, in one of my very favorite movies where called Hocus Pocus. And the boy tricked the witches with a Zippo lighter. So I understand the theory. They thought that was magic. I get that theory.
The witches thought the boy was a witch.
Yeah, I get the theory of bringing an item back in time, sure. I mean, and that will be a discussion that we will have when we discuss time travel, which I promise.
Or witches?
We will discuss.
Are we talking about witches?
Hey, we might. However,
okay.
We're at aliens. We're not at time travel. I don't think that they go hand in hand.
What if they do, though?
They might. However, it's just the existence of advanced extraterrestrial life forms. Because I don't think we're talking about blobs or unthinking like dodo birds. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that this is...
first of all, that's offensive to the
I'm
dodo
sorry, dodos.
community.
I
so
apologize.
Sorry,
that was wrong.
everyone.
I will do some research and become more empathetic to your
glorious,
flight.
glorious bird
Extinct.
that's extinct. But
Yeah.
the pictures based on the bones and they look great.
So, I mean, I don't even remember where I was going with that. However, I think that's the question. Is there smart life form, that's what we're talking about, not magic.
Not just extraterrestrial life.
Extraordinary.
Intelligent.
Yes, because that would be the concept, right? That they came here and they were smarter than us. So that's what we're discussing, not magic.
Smarter is a good question, too. Because technologically advanced if they'd arrived here, certainly.
Yeah, they'd have to.
But maybe
be.
not smarter. Maybe, like, just they had better tech or something. Maybe they were worse.
Well, how do you get the technology without
I don't
being
know.
smarter?
I'm not an alien.
That's what you say.
Well,
I actually really trust you 100%.
as far as I know, I mean, it's pretty true.
Oh, so then there's the people who believe that like aliens are walking amongst us.
Yes.
Do you think?
I mean, I'm not going to rule it out.
Okay. There are people that think that there's like certain blood types that is alien DNA. And
that's because you have it.
I have this specific blood type that is said to have alien DNA. And I'm going to tell you, well, I might be smart. I don't know if I have this extraordinary intelligence that is claimed for aliens.
I wish I had the lizard blood that you have.
Yeah, well, you don't. And I just...
Reminds me of a great movie where the aliens were lizards called Buckaroo Banzai and something the Eighth Dimension. And the aliens were lizards. And the chief alien was named Dr. Lizardo.
Wow. Was this like a blockbuster hit?
No.
No.
Not
this
quite.
Isn't one of those, what is it, B movies? Is that what they call it?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. And I feel like that's
from the
where...
80s. Someone recommended it to me because it was a B. They were like, it's the finest B movie ever made.
Well, and I also recall that you had an obsession with a Stargate.
Oh, yes. Fantastic. The movie, which turned into a amazing TV show, which lasted for many, many years, which turned into like 3 other movies? I don't know. There was a lot in there.
That also had to deal with like aliens coming and showing us stuff, or am I incorrect?
It had a lot to do with the pyramids as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why do we think that we couldn't have done that back then?
I mean,
we figured out lots of things.
Don't know.
You know, I mean, we lost a lot.
Because it's so much older than any of the like. I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm not in that community, but like, it's like 5,000 BC, give or take. So that's so far behind or older than what we consider to be like the modern civilization.
Yeah, although there was a really big time, I think, where brute was winning over brains, right? Like, think of a lot of the Western expansion, and it didn't matter what people thought. It was like, hey, we have weapons and we don't care about you. So very primitive in how, that's
like 6,000 years after that, though.
Sure, but we get really dumbed down.
I mean, okay. That's why you said why, I'm just saying that's why, because it's so far back. I mean, like, the expansion of Rome, which could be the argument for Western expansion,
yes,
was 5,000 years later. Or close to it.
Okay.
I'm not a historian.
Wasn't that when, like...
I apologize to all the historians out there, including my
father.
What?
any fact checkers out there, you are going to have so much fun with us because there's so many
don't
things
know what we're talking
that we
about.
don't. We're not checking this stuff out. It's from whatever is, reaching in the backs of our brains, something, some light bulb that's turning on. So enjoy it. You don't need to correct us because we know that we're 90% wrong.
It might be less than that.
Okay, yeah, with a sprinkling of actual facts that we can remember, but somewhere in there. So,
I like sprinkles.
Yeah. I mean, we like the shiny, but we recall bits and pieces of things. So, but don't come at us. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change our opinions, and we won't. At least this goldfish brain won't remember what you told us for it to be fact. It's still going to not swim in there. So I'm just going to say that, as I really can't remember what we were talking about except for, timelines. You were talking about timelines. And I know what I think I know is that you had the pyramids and then you had Rome. But in there, like I was talking about with that library, in there, the Romans, I believe, Julius Caesar burnt down those libraries. Something or that's like a theory or something.
You're thinking of the movie with Elizabeth Taylor, aren't you?
Great movie. Oh my God. And she was gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, it's from like 60 years ago. Maybe that's not, true. But it's pretty old. But she came rolling out of this carpet, like it's a part of the story. And if you know a lot about it, it makes sense. But, she was gorgeous. Oh my God. And the costuming in that movie, wonderful. So, but this is
where... what she wasn't? From Africa.
That's true. That's true. I mean...
But she was Elizabeth Taylor.
She was Elizabeth Taylor. So if you're looking for an old movie that you haven't seen, go watch Cleopatra. If you are looking for...
Unless you want to watch a movie about aliens, then they have some other recommendations for you.
If you're looking for a movie that you have seen and you're like, I forgot how great that... Like, that was a huge cost. Like, the cost of that movie, it was beautiful. So anyhow, you should watch it. That's my recommendation on alien movies. There's no aliens involved.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a little off to the side.
I really did. But I love Elizabeth Taylor. So don't open that door for me. However, like if that's the timeline, and again, they were using brute force in their takeover of the world.
Sure.
And it was very purposeful. Again, remember, I'm a conspiracy theorist. That only a few kept the knowledge. They didn't share this stuff. They didn't want the masses to know things. So, whatever they would have burned down, because like, hey, if I'm the only one who knows it, you can't use it against me. I think that there's something to that. So I'll just put that out there. But I guess, well, Luke, let me ask you a question.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. In this corner, we have Amber claiming to weigh in at 135 pounds with 2 wins and 0 losses, which is really unfortunate for me, by the way. She has over 25 years of practice in the art of insignificant lovers' spats and is armed with her amazing wit, which she will need today.
And in this corner, we have Luke. At his prime weight of 185 pounds, with his beautiful red beard, he has 0 wins.
That's sad.
And 2 losses. Which might change today.
Oof, maybe.
It might be a turnaround for you.
Let's hope so.
Because, Luke, let me ask you a question. Do you honestly believe that aliens have walked the planet Earth amongst us humans?
Here's the deal. I believe I would for sure not rule it out. And I would even say that it's likely, and I would even go so far as to bet on that it has happened. The difficulty could be in proving it. I don't know about the like walk amongst us thing, because that might be a little.
Or are they just flying amongst us in their little
too far.
spaceships?
I believe that to be the case. Yes.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I do. I do.
I believe you've established some of your points. Why don't I give you some counters?
I'd love to hear them. Prove me wrong, Luke.
I would love to.
Okay.
So, first of all, you do have all the speculative information that's out there that most of us have probably been privy to at some point or another. Most of you watching, both of us obviously, we've talked about some of the shows that are documentaries or docudramas, things that are unexplained. I think that's the name of one of the shows, actually. It might be called Unexplained. And there have been numerous, over the course of our modern history, reports from all over the world of congruous events that were similar in times when information was not so easily exchanged. You mentioned crop circles. I think those are for the most part a silly hoax. But there have been reports of similar, like, unexplained things like UFOs, which are now called some other acronym, like that were doing the same thing in Europe that they were doing in the US. So that's just something. Then you have all of like the amateur footage of things they didn't understand. Much of these things have been gone through on these documentaries where they're trying to find out what's going on using a scientific method of trying to prove it wrong and not being able to, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, but it doesn't make it untrue. Now, the most recent development of this has actually been from the US government.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like a one-off, like info dump on a bunch of different stuff. One of the more wider known ones, because I know about it, so obviously it's wider known if I found out about it, was footage from high-resolution cameras in American fighter jets over the ocean.
I saw that footage.
That was classified for like a long time, like 10 years or something, that the Pentagon released and said, yeah, we don't know what this was, and it's certainly beyond any Earth technology. From the Pentagon. And that's not an isolated incident or report. So, a large part of my argument to you would be that if in the last 5 years, the most militarized government of the modern era, being the United States, is going to come out with real footage from classified documents and say, this is legitimately unexplainable. Why would they do that after so long in secrecy?
What? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, remember, I am a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
Because keeping the masses afraid keeps them controllable. And what is more terrifying than little green men coming down from Mars to possibly mess with our human population? Actually, I would say that is why they did it. And when you look at it, right, so you look at history and how, politics, governments, they like to figure out ways to mold the society as how they want it, right? We know this.
Of course.
And if you look at when these big times of like the 50s, and I don't remember when else, but especially the 50s, there were a lot of reports coming out at the same time, starting in little pockets, right? And they'd be like, oh, I saw an alien ship, and then the next day someone else would be like, oh, I need to say I saw an alien ship too, and then like it just goes like that, and like there's this mass hysteria about aliens, but it's a lot of times pretty localized to these mass hysterias. I don't think that that's proof that there is an alien there. It's just proof that maybe someone down the road got a newspaper article written about them, and they're like, well, I want to be like that person. I want a newspaper article written about me too. Or it could be very scientific reasons, like maybe they had bad water. I mean, so I'm just saying there's lots of
bad water.
Bad water, yeah, why not? And so they're all, seeing stuff that doesn't belong,
So everyone's hallucinating.
That's the word I was looking for, yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
But, I mean, I think that is also a possibility. I also just really think that people, societies come up with things together, and it builds upon itself to become these myths which become facts to people. Not true, but it was a myth. Enough people talked about it, it became a fact. So I have certainly, like I said, listened to many things about aliens, and whether or not they exist, and the concepts of people who say that they saw it, and there'd be like one guy who said on his deathbed.
One guy.
Oh, can I finish my thought?
Okay.
Who on his deathbed would be like, well, I saw something strange, and the Pentagon said that they'd kill me if I said anything. Well, I would probably do something like that too if I was dying. Like, here, let's give somebody a mystery. Why not? I'm leaving. What do I care? Sure. I saw a little 3-foot tall man who had gray skin in a spaceship, and I read him his final, whatever the thing is that a priest reads to his final rites.
Last rites.
Yes, last rites. Gosh, I should know that. Anyhow, I did that for him, and since I'm a priest, I can't lie, which is not always the truth either. So I'm just saying that without tangible physical proof, which we've never had, and if it existed, like at Area 51, when the Pentagon was like, recently said that those were things and we can't explain it. I don't know if they said, because I didn't watch it that hard. I saw the video and I said, I don't see what you think is so amazing. It could just be something dumb like someone's got a laser lighter. It really didn't look like that out of this world to me, honestly. And now, especially like when you think about CGI and people are like, well, it couldn't have been a hoax. Well, absolutely it could be a hoax. There's so many things that are hoaxes.
From the government.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. The government never releases hoaxes. Ugh. We could go on a whole nother podcast about
sure
that.
Hope not.
Government, don't watch this. I do think though that there's a bunch out there that does not have any proof. It's just stuff. It's something that someone made, good stories, and like with Area 51, who knows? It could have been a Russian freaking fighter jet, and they didn't want anyone to know that Russia was attacking us. Not that Russia would. But, like there are other reasons why they might have been like, well, we're still going to cover this up. It's probably not aliens, but it's really great that you all think it is. We're still going to cover this up and say, ooh, oh, cool. They're going with aliens? I'm going to let them do that. That's far easier than anything else, So my answer to the question of if I think aliens have walked or flown among us is very unpopular, I know. But no, I don't see it. No proof.
Okay, here's the other thing to think about. Just real quick.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Is the mathematical probability that intelligent life not only exists, but exists in plenitude. And if that is mathematically viable, which it is, I would use, just as an example, somebody most of America trusts, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, okay.
Literally has said on a number of occasions, you can't really do the math in a place as big as our universe, with as many galaxies, suns, and planets would exist.
Sure.
You can't do the math and just say that humans are the only thing.
I didn't say that that's the case.
Now, if that's the case, then it's also fair to say, given that the universe is about 14 billion years old, that there hasn't been a sufficiently advanced technology from an alien planet or solar system or galaxy, or maybe in a place long, long ago and far, far away, couldn't have found a way to get to other galaxies and solar systems. And if that were the case, why not here?
I mean,
If they had, like, let's just say it was us who are abundantly curious. We're always exploring new things. Like right now, the front of science is quantum technology, which is like, well, basically what's unexplainable and unthought of 50 years ago.
yeah.
And they've done a whole bunch of like actual scientific studies proving it, doing a bunch of quantum experiments, discovering quantum entanglement, and like a bunch of other stuff. So if a species like us, who is abundantly curious, and in the last, I don't know, 100 years, 200 years, has gone from like no electricity to literally rockets that go up in space, and wireless communication through satellites, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, like all of these things that are pretty wildly crazy. Why would it not stand to reason then that if there were, mathematically speaking, provable other intelligent life, why would they not have had, let's say, more time to develop their technology? Let's say it's an example of what humanity might have looked like 2,000 or 5,000 years in the future even. We've been building on what we have now, and we're just getting better at it. We're building better rockets and better technology and better communication, and find a way to identify other intelligent life by things like what we're trying to do now, which is explore the cosmos for things like radio signals. And we don't have a lot of other, we have big telescopes and stuff, but we don't have a lot of other ways to do it. But if we had 5,000 years or 10,000 years to build on that, why wouldn't we at that point in the future have something that pretty easily was able to identify something very far, far away and then go to said thing? I don't think you could say that that hasn't happened for some other intelligent alien life, and that they could have brought them here.
I'm not saying that it isn't possible that there is alien life out in the universe. I'm not even saying that it isn't possible that they don't have the capability to travel to other planets and other solar systems and all. I'm not saying any of that.
Just not here.
Just not here.
What?
I mean, they might have done enough research and decided it wasn't a place to go.
So you think all of the things that have been questioned in Earth's history about crazily advanced technologies, pictograms of things that resembled things in the sky that traveled down, and like, you think all of that's just...
I think that's humans.
Circumstance.
No, I think all of that is humans, and we just want to feel super superior to our ancestors and being so much smarter. Oh, they couldn't have done that. So that when we do something dumb today, as we do all the time, we can be like, well, they were dumber because they needed aliens to do it.
And yet all of those things that I just talked about have some sort of reference to like these godlike space creatures.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, yes, people have talked about gods since the beginning of time.
That's true.
I don't necessarily think that they've talked about it being godlike space creatures. I'm sure there have been people who talked about that. However, I think that when you're talking about that, you're probably discussing hieroglyphs and stuff like that.
Sure.
I mean,
written accounts, like, stuff that we're still doing now. Actually.
Not today. I mean, like you're saying back then, back in history. Like,
well, they didn't write us stories in English, but they did have writing.
Right, which has been interpreted 80 million different ways.
Sure.
Which loses a lot of everything there in interpretations. So I'm just saying no, it is definitely not proof, and it's just, again, us wanting to be superior, in just because that's what we do. We think that we're better than somebody else.
I think that's wanting us to acknowledge the mystery of the cosmos.
a little too
Woo woo.
yes. It is a little too woo-woo for
little
me.
too woo woo.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I say they have not walked amongst us, and Luke is saying they likely have. He believes they have.
Been visited.
He believes we've been
by advanced, intelligent extraterrestrial life.
Again, I also
It would explain a lot.
will say that I know that my opinion is not necessarily the most popular.
Maybe not. Maybe
I might,
maybe it's
for
the most
once, lose an argument.
Oh.
But I will die on this hill that I have no proof that aliens have walked amongst us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, we will get the tally of said contest and poll and let everyone know the results and who has the wins and losses in the next episode.
mm-hmm.
Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast. We're in our very third episode.
This is our very third episode. Oh, it's so exciting. And we've had a lot of fun interacting with you all. So please keep it up. Keep up the comments. Keep up those streams and following, and share this. You know, if you were, whether you like it or not, share us with your friends, your family, your coworkers.
The aliens.
Sure. You know what? Prove me wrong. Let's get like 10 new alien followers, and that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
I'm in. If
So
you have new ideas and things that you would like to see us discuss on the podcast, please send them to our email, which is
arguingeverafter@gmail.com.
there we go. Thanks, people. See you next time.